Welcome to Visionaries Global Media, your number one source for podcasting entertainment. Visionaries Global Media, envisioning excellence on a global scale.
This is Band From Ringside.
Tonight on the Band From Ringside podcast, Bryan Danielson and Ricky Starks have a Texas death match. The Bloodline beats down Cena forever and ever and ever. Some unknown assailants beat down Jay White, and Yota Tsuji and Will Ospreay have a Match of the Year contender. That and a whole bunch more tonight on the Band From Ringside podcast. At least in my humble opinion. That's a Match of the Year contender. I don't know. I don't know about you guys. I have thoughts, though. Ditch that 9 to 5. It's time to feel alive. Hello, Mark. So welcome to the Band From Ringside podcast. As always, I'm your host, Bill Vagey, a.k.a. Don Phallus. And sitting directly across from me, we have Jason Cornelius Bell. What's going on, JCB?
Oh, that actually is good because that weaves me into mine. I'm becoming. A beefer in my mind. And on that lovely note, I will ask the congregation to bow their heads as I read from the latest edition of the Band From Ringside podcast, volume 327, chapter 3, verse 14 of the Good Smart saith, hashtag boo the heels. It is all good, baby. Listen, share, subscribe, repeat. The Holy Trinity of BFR. Round 1 of PSP down the books. Round 2 is PFR. I'm already warmed up, ready to talk a bunch more wrestling. Let's do the damn thing.
And out there in Portland, Oregon, the biggest Drew Holiday fan in the world, we have 3 Beer Zach Pullman. What's going on, 3 Beer Zach?
PFR West is in the house. Now, can you answer? Hey, hang on. Do you know who Drew Holiday is?
That is, he won the WrestleMania main event in the Performance Center.
Yes, that's right. He just got traded for Damian Lillard. But
I did know that. I just didn't know that. I just thought we just gave him away. I didn't know there was a trade.
That's the right answer. Zach, what's going on?
Not much. I took a sick day today. I probably sound like shit. I kind of feel like shit, but can't miss the podcast, so I'm here.
We appreciate your dedication. And sitting to my right, we have one of my oldest friends in the world. We have Vice. What's going on, Vice?
How's it going tonight, guys?
What up, turd?
Funny he says that because I just dropped my son off at my ex-wife's house, and I walked in and she's like, "Hey, thanks for your help," and I go,
What up, turd?
Now that's where fuck
So
you
we're
comes
having-
in.
yeah,
That's
fun
where
tonight.
fuck you comes
That's where
in.
fuck is.
"We're having fun
Just
tonight."
extreme energy here tonight. My wife is about to blow her stack. She is not here right now, but we are leaving very early in the morning for Kansas City. And guess who waits to do all their packing at the very end? Not this guy, not your boy.
Not your boy.
Edna.
Edna May. Yeah, we are coming at you from. It's kind of humid out here in St. Louis. Lots of stuff going on. Lots of wrestling to get to. I was originally going to sit this podcast out, but some things changed. And instead of leaving this afternoon, we're leaving tomorrow morning. So I caught up on all sorts of. I was going to take Collision off. I was going to take SmackDown off. I was like, you know what? This is nice not to watch wrestling for a week and just fucking really reset myself. And then it was like, podcast is back on. I was like, ooh, better watch 8 hours of wrestling today. Instead of working, I'm a sick man. Also saw my boy JCB Friday night celebrating my wife and I's 11th anniversary. We decided to go to, not a sponsor, Sydney Street in Soulard, fine dining establishment. Jason Cornelius Bell was our server, treated us like royalty.
Getting my ass worked like a government mule at the same time.
He was busy, and at one point my wife said to him, treat us like we'll be your break table, like when you got to come over and take a breather, because I'd like to think that we were pretty easy. The meal was fucking just fucking fire, and the dessert was fucking fire. The service, but I mean,
I was busy, man. I had 500
the food was good.
Just five.
That's impressive, man. I mean, you guys have been married longer than Velveteen Dream's girlfriend's been alive.
Jesus Christ.
Velveteen Dream catching strays. Just catching strays.
Everybody is locked and loaded tonight.
What the fuck is
I'd like to see a tag.
on?
I'd like to see a tag team with Velveteen Dream and Dane Cook. So, like I said, tons of wrestling. Dane Cook just got married to his. They met when she was 17. Like he was like 46, she was 17. It's like they just got married. It's like, oh, she's 24, he's 51 or whatever. It's like they've been together for 8 years. I was like, wait a minute. I was doing the math. I was like, wait a minute.
He was their high school wrestling coach.
All right, let's get to that three. Let's get to that 3 count. So much wrestling to talk about too. I'm not even high yet.
Can I swerve when I
All right. I'm gonna listen. I gotta bring this back down to earth.
All right. Let me get
JCB, kick it off.
This is gonna be one hell of an episode. I can see this already. Let's talk Raw. Fuck it. I was gonna say I wanted to talk New Japan, but we can hold off on that for 30 seconds. Pretty nondescript week of Raw as far as I'm concerned. Just some major stories to talk about. SmackDown obviously opened up with John Cena, AJ Styles, Jimmy Uso, so confronting them. They end up making a match for later on that. Not later on that evening. It was supposed to be a Fastlane match where Jimmy and Solo were going to meet AJ and John Cena. We can fast forward later on into the night where we see AJ Styles getting whooped on by Jimmy Uso and then splashed. It feels like he was jumping off of a truck of some sort, but a fairly high elevated platform with Solo Sikoa splashes on AJ Styles, basically eliminating AJ Styles from any and all competition. So the ultimate question is, who is going to be John Cena's partner? So John Cena comes out for the contract signing. He signs his contract and then proceeds to get stomped out by the Bloodline. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, we have a locker room full of motherfuckers that probably don't like the Bloodline. Somebody's coming out, right? Waiting. Somebody's coming out, right?
They were back there playing spades, dude. That's what I've been doing too. I've been like, fuck this.
I got 5.
I'd be like, let them eat.
No one helps John Cena. I said on Twitter, I'm like, okay, this is LA Knight's spot. It makes way too much sense, especially the week before when you have teased LA Knight and Paul Heyman interaction. This is LA Knight's spot. No LA Knight. Apparently, LA Knight had COVID, so that's why he was not on the show. So John Cena closes out SmackDown, getting whooped on by the Bloodline. So
did you find the segment effective?
It was what it was. I mean,
yeah, we've seen it all before, but did you find it effective?
No, because I'm still on the fact that Jimmy's part of this story still doesn't make sense. Now he's back in the Bloodline?
He's trying to get back in Roman's good graces.
Okay. We need to get Roman back up here and start establishing law and order. I'm sorry I took the week off and they made me work last week, and last week was a fairly calm and, laissez-faire kind of platform. Not this week. Hell no. You cannot sit up here and tell me that Roman Reigns is not the straw that stirs this whole drink. He is the Bloodline storyline. Jimmy Uso can't do it. Jay is on the way, but he can't do it the way Roman can do it. We need Roman back to make this storyline work again.
Did not expect Jason to come out as pro cop, but here he is asking for law and order. Zach, did you find the segment effective, and or who do you think is going to be John Cena's tag team partner?
I think it's going to be LA Knight, and I think that's pretty fun. But the weirdest thing for me was AJ Styles in the ring with John Cena and not beating up John Cena.
Right.
Because that was like my favorite thing that AJ Styles ever did in WWE was that, for sure. But yeah, I think it works. But I think Jason's right. The Bloodline does last on the Jimmy solo side without Roman. Jay does great, but the rest of the stuff, it is just lacking. They try to, keep it going without Roman, but he really is the draw in that, like you said, the straw that stirs the drink.
Can I throw out an alternate? Just,
I guess it is your podcast too.
Could it be Randy Orton?
You the QB.
Could it be Randy Orton? Randy Orton has been spotted at the. I wish we could live in a world where these things are absolute fucking surprises, but Randy Orton was spotted at the Performance Center. Somebody filmed him outside. He looked at the person's phone and he put his finger up to his lips as if to say shh,
shut the fuck up,
like he wasn't supposed to be there. But I mean,
the guy posted it with like a caption that said, "I was at the Performance Center and I saw Randy Orton, and Randy Orton looked at me." Anyway.
is that
That's like the whole story. I don't know if he did or not, but that's like the whole thing. There's a lot of speculation, but that would be very fun too. That would get probably the biggest pop, especially because they're probably each other's career rivals, right?
I would, in my mind, John Cena's premier rival is Randy Orton, not The Rock, not Edge, but Randy Orton, because they basically entered at the same time. Randy Orton came in a little earlier than Cena, but Orton's been gone for 16 months. I was shocked to hear that number, but he's been gone for 16 months. Another thing that I'll point out here, and I almost texted to the thread, the BFR thread, but it has been Roman Reigns has defended the title once, maybe twice in the last 170 days or something. He defended it at SummerSlam, and apparently he defended it in Mexico against Rey Mysterio at like a big time house show,
Orton has been gone so long, they fired Riddle over it.
I mean, that's basically what happened.
No lies. Hashtag facts. Everybody kept waiting for Orton to come back because we always thought that they were going to pick up that storyline when he came back, and he never came back. And when the Riddle came back, he was basically just there to take pins.
Let's get to the Riddle thing in a second. Zach, did you find this segment effective? I found it. I guess I'm asking you guys this because I found it effective. It was very long. It was a long beatdown, and it looked like it was designed to get Jimmy his heat back. And from my perspective, it was successful. Zach, what do you think? I know it's kind of boring, with guys that watch wrestling every week for fucking the last 20 years, but I thought it was effective. Zach, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it got the point across, and we have a little bit of intrigue. I think if it is LA Knight and LA Knight was out, that gives it a little more intrigue because it's weekly television. Now we're like, who is the partner? Instead of if somebody would have come and saved him, then we would have known who the partner was.
Also,
so
right. I also read that they were giving out refunds because LA Knight got COVID, and
damn,
LA Knight is big enough to
give refunds back?
He's refund big?
Shit.
That seems kind of strange. I don't know if they actually gave any back, but that seems like...
There's that little note underneath that says, card subject to change. Sorry, not sorry. You didn't get to see LA Knight.
Vice, myself, a couple of friends of ours, Tim Alvarez, a couple other guys, went to a Raw a long time ago, and we were Kurt Angle marks, and Kurt Angle only came out to save Stephanie in a storyline that never went anywhere. And I tell you what, they didn't offer me my refund, and they still owe me $25. That might date me on how fucking long ago it was that Raw tickets were $25.
Remember what our sign said for that?
It said, he's that damn good, and it was 3 H's at the beginning of he, because we were massive Triple H guys, too. I was probably, like 2000?
Yeah, we had it spray painted on a tablecloth.
Yeah, and they made us take it down.
Yeah,
twice. Because we were in the first row in the mezzanine, and we were hanging it over the side, and they were like, you can't hang it over the side. So they took it away from us.
Janine was pissed that we ruined that tablecloth.
Yeah, it was my mom's good tablecloth, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Probably
definitely,
not.
Yeah, definitely pissed at you motherfuckers for wrestling. Yeah.
So, I mean, now that the subject's been broke, spades have been broken, Matt Riddle would have been if we would have been talking about Zach and I last week when Jason wasn't here, if we had been talking about the WWE releases, Matt Riddle would have been the biggest name on that release because he was on TV more recently than Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler got most of the headlines, Mustafa Ali also, but Matt Riddle would have been the biggest one. Do you agree with that, Jason? And what do you think about Riddle being released?
Unfortunate for him because it feels like there's more than what we see as wrestling fans and what's really going on. It feels like there's a deeper rabbit hole going down there. Is he the biggest name? I'm gonna say no. I still say it's Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler is more accomplished. Matt Riddle. If you are like a hardcore wrestling mark like I am, you know Riddle has done Evolve and other independent wrestling shows. He's done MMA, obviously. What's Matt Riddle's biggest claim to fame when it comes to WWE? I mean,
I don't think that's the point, though. I think the point is that he was on television very recently doing an angle with Drew McIntyre.
Okay, and I understand that, but Dolph Ziggler can do that with basically anyone on the mic and in the ring. He obviously was valued enough, long enough to hang around for 15, 16, 17, some plus years, whatever the case may be. I mean, he survived COVID, a bunch of other, layoffs and all this other shit. He went down to NXT, reinvented himself there. If it wasn't for injury, he could have easily been a 2-time world heavyweight champion. He was the sole survivor here in Survivor Series when they came Sting's debut. So, I mean, we can go on and on. I understand what you're saying. Riddle was more on TV, but when Riddle was on TV, what was he doing? He had a spoon in his hand, was eating pins left and right. It wasn't like they were building him up to anything. He was just there to get other people over versus him getting over. It's Dolph Ziggler.
Gunther stomped on his bare feet.
Zach, what do you think? Do you think that Riddle is a bigger release than Dolph Ziggler?
No, and I mean, I think they released kind of different reasoning. Ziggler has been getting paid, I'm sure, 7 figures for a long time, and they aren't doing much with him. So if you're looking at cutting costs, that just makes sense. If you're looking to just do a household budget, right? You're looking like, oh, what are my bigger expenses that I can get rid of? And I mean, unfortunately, he's expendable in that sense, even though he's super talented. Riddle just seems problematic in a variety of ways. So I'm sure, he had a main roster contract. I'm sure he's going to pay decent money, but I don't think he was, wasn't a 7-figure guy. And he was also, they were going to always kind of do stuff with him because he was charismatic, but they were never going to go all the way with Riddle or anything either. So, just kind of cut ties. He's, like I said, problematic. So Ziggler was a bigger loss. I'm surprised that they didn't just, put him in a different role, like
backstage.
Move him down to NXT. Yeah, not move him down to NXT. Yeah, exactly. Not move him down to NXT for wrestling, but just backstage guy.
Jason, what else happened on the main roster?
We had a title match. Io Sky defending against Asuka. Charlotte coming out was the big surprise, I guess, even though she really didn't get involved too much until the end. Io Sky retains over Asuka. A tad bit of fuckery going on, but nothing too much to where I thought it cost Asuka the match. From this point, where do you go from Asuka? I've said this before multiple times, and I'll say it again now. I think as much as Asuka is accomplished, and you can look at her resume, and she's won this and she's done that, she feels like the most unappreciated of the bunch, where every time it feels like you're going to get something good from Asuka in this scenario, where now this feels like more of the kind of Asuka that we have known in the past. You haven't gotten that. It's the face paint that looks like it, but the character is still the same. Her losing to Io isn't going to hurt her. She's over, and unless something catastrophic happens, she'll be just fine.
I don't remember. Was it clean?
It was clean-ish. Bailey got involved, that's when
I just right when they announced this match, I was like, Charlotte's coming in. It's like, this is not an actual match. This is not, Bill Ospreay versus Yota Tsuji. This is not something that is going to be just a pure wrestler's dream. Zach, what'd you think about the match?
I thought the match was awesome. I really enjoyed it.
Up until the end, I would pretty much agree. I like the match.
Yeah, you don't really get too much of that on TV. I feel like you get more and more of it lately, which is cool. There's some good TV matches on SmackDown, so I was into it. I didn't expect it. I didn't look at the rundown beforehand. I knew that they were kind of building towards it, but I thought maybe for a pay-per-view. Maybe they still are, but yeah, it was good. Jason,
what were the other big developments on the main roster?
Santos Escobar and Rey Mysterio defeat the Street Profits. Kind of surprising, especially when it felt like the Street Profits were getting built up towards some sort of another title push.
It felt like we missed like 4 weeks of television with the Street Profits. It felt like they jumped into part 2 of the story before part 1 really got off the ground.
Well, I'll say this: with the backstage with Lashley, undressing them down or whatever the case may be, I think they're taking a step back. They never really felt like they had a legit heel turn. They attacked the Brawling Brutes. I get that. That was the moment. But then, like the next week, they're coming out, and I think that was like the week, the Bray Wyatt and Terry Funk week where they both passed. That was the week where it felt like an exhibition week. So they came out and they played like baby faces. And ever since then, they've been, still coming out and playing to the fans. That ain't what they're supposed to be doing. They are supposed to be a heel tag team. Bobby Lashley needs to be the heel leader of this, and they all need to come out and just whomp everybody's ass in the way. I think ultimately this is the bump in the road that gets us the heel.
Bobby Lashley, surprisingly good as a manager. Zach, what do you think about the Street Profits versus Santos and Rey?
Yeah, I agree. It seemed like we jumped through the timeline here. I like the idea of the Street Profits and the heel to kind of develop some characters, but I wonder how it's going to work. But seeing with Bobby Lashley seems positive. We'll see how it goes, but it did seem like they're kind of rushing this, whatever they're planning.
What else happened, Jace?
Pretty Deadly had a nice little vignette, which led to a match between Jesus Christ.
That was the biggest development of the week. That Pretty Deadly vignette.
When I saw that Pretty Deadly vignette, I was like, okay, obviously they're close to coming back. And then Brawling Brutes versus Grayson Waller and Theory was the next match. And I was like, okay, this is where we're going to see Pretty Deadly come back. They'll interfere. And then, they'll cost Brawling Brutes a match. It didn't happen, but you can see they're on the way back. Go ahead.
Sorry. If you close your eyes and just imagine it when Pretty Deadly's talking, you're like, oh, these guys are like Edge and Christian. They are just fucking clowns.
Very much
like back when, like 1999, 2000, Edge and Christian.
Yeah.
That's what they remind me of. Zach, what do you think about Pretty Deadly? Future champs?
They're phenomenal. I think sooner rather than later in that regard.
No, I meant singles champions. Or do you think that they could beat Roman Reigns and share the Universal Championship together?
It's going to take both of them.
That would be an angle, though. I would like that.
You would stack them up.
I would say, who are these pretty boys?
I like how they're leaning. I like how they're leaning into the Ridge Holland hurt him too. He's like, oh, and then they close in on the shoulder hitting the mat. Very funny shit. Very funny shit. The second hardest I laughed all week. The first one also involves somebody from Edge and Christian. It's not Edge.
I think I know where you're going with that too. If it's what I think it is, then I was like, God damn, this dude has got zero conscience. Let's jump on.
Invite Nick Wayne's mom. No, you know what? I'll invite her.
I'm like, God damn.
Talk about Darby Allin's uncle driving drunk, and now he's dead. Jesus Christ, Christian. Take it easy.
Oh, my God.
Heel year. Jesus.
We'll get to him.
On the Raw side,
I like how I just say everything I want. Then hey, guys, we'll get to it, all right?
Settle down, motherfuckers. Everybody's over in the corner.
Me first. Acknowledge me.
We acknowledge you. You are our tribal chief. Cody opens the show. KO, Sammy, and Jey Uso come out. They and Judgment Day have a nice little confrontation. I would not be surprised, and when I saw the ending of the segment where they had the 4 baby faces in the ring and the 4 heels outside of the ring, I would not be surprised if that is a Survivor Series War Games match in some form or fashion. It especially with the way it feels like it's happening. JD McDonagh should be the 4th guy. Rhea Ripley should be back, so you have Cody, KO, Sammy, Jey Uso versus Judgment Day and JD McDonagh. I think that would be a really good Survivor Series War Games match. We'll see what happens when that comes out. Bronson Reed, once again, comes back and defeats Otis to kind of put more doubt in whether or not it will truly be Chad Gable being the one to defeat Gunther for the IC Championship. I'm still not convinced. I just think this is part of the storyline. They're hopefully just cooling Chad Gable off to ultimately have him come back later on sometime in the year.
Don't hold your breath.
Survivor Series seems like a good place to do it. We got time.
Don't hold your breath.
I'm not going to.
I do not trust them to actually go back to a Gable push.
Okay, 3 Beer, you're the deciding vote in this. Does WWE have sense here or not?
Chad who? Oh, you mean Shorty G?
Shush!
He's heating up.
God damn. I thought you of all people would be on my side on that one. That's fine.
Hey, did you notice, though, that when Otis was facing Bronson Reed, that Corey Graves kept talking about big, meaty men slapping meat? Because, so the reason that I always say that is because that was a Big E thing.
Right.
That he always, and then when they said it during Powerhouse Hobbs versus Miro, and the crowd was chanting meat, 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 and Nigel McGuinness, or not Nigel McGuinness, but they were saying, oh, it's big meaty men slapping meat.
Might have been Kevin Kelly.
That WWE was like, you know what? We're taking this back. This is our guys' thing. Big meaty men slapping meat. We're claiming this back for us.
If that's the match they want to claim it back on, they didn't do a good enough job on it.
Well,
Corey Graves even said Big E's at home really happy right now.
Yes, that's right. I'll tell you what, I don't know, but Otis versus Bronson Reed, big meaty men slapping meat.
Powerhouse Hobbs versus Miro?
Also big meaty men slapping meat.
That's a fucking cow.
Hey, if it's a competition, I know who wins, the audience, because I like watching big meaty men slap meat.
Thank you.
Becky Lynch and Tegan Nox had their backstage segment, which leads to Tegan Nox and Natty. They have a match. Tegan Nox wins. Poor Natty. I just feel bad for her at this point. The guy that is now feels like he's going to be fed to Gunther next, Tommaso Ciampa, defeats Ludwig Kaiser. And once again, it feels like we're teasing another Imperium breakup. We talked about Natty, Seth, and Shinsuke. I thought this was probably the best segment in WWE all week long. Seth Rollins basically asking for any kind of match, any place, anytime. You name the stiffs, Nakamura, I will be there. Nakamura with another sensational vignette demands a last man standing match. So we're getting last man standing at Fastlane. Gentlemen, I'll let you take it from there.
I can't believe how often these last man standing matches happen. It seems like they happen all the time now. Zach, what'd you think of this segment?
The segment was great. Love the last man standing gimmick. And I remember whenever they did it with AJ, it was not good when Shinsuke and AJ did that. So I hope. I just don't like the gimmick.
I liked when when Roman Reigns buried Braun in folding chairs? Wasn't that
right,
a thing?
Yeah, feels right. Yeah,
that felt like a pretty smart usage of the gimmick. I gotta admit something here, guys. I had a lot of wrestling to catch up on, and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna watch the Seth Rollins part. I'm gonna fast forward until we get to the Shinsuke vignette. Is that? You think it's understandable?
Yeah, I was about to say we know.
I mean, Seth doesn't say anything new.
No, Shinsuke was the guy that you wanted to hear from in this point. You know what Seth was out there for. We needed to know the when and the where when this next match was going to happen. No problem with it.
Does Shinsuke win the next match? Zach, you can jump in here too. Bo, you can too if you want.
No.
Yeah, I still think no.
Yeah, I mean, I'll bet on the champ until I'm wrong, but I just can't. I would love if they pull the trigger on Shinsuke. I will pop.
Yeah, I would be pleasantly surprised.
Unless it's a match where the stipulation is Seth has to fight with his back to Shinsuke the entire time, I don't think Seth is losing.
Well, I mean, like I just
And
don't.
he just rails him in the back. With
He's like, yeah,
knees.
let me tap dance with
I
your
guess
shit.
I guess there's room for shenanigans, but
Who's coming out?
Yeah, I don't know.
Damian Priest is the only guy that would even be in consideration, and why would he stop Nakamura from softening up Rollins more?
Yeah, but Priest definitely ain't going to cash in on Nakamura. It's not going to be like Nakamura wins and then here comes Priest. It would be Seth Rollins retains
wins, and then
because there's no story in Nakamura getting
Agreed.
cashed in on.
I agree with that totally.
All right, anything else from Raw or SmackDown? Dirty
Dom,
Dom
yeah.
versus Dragon
My
Lee was
dog,
fucking.
my dog with the clean dub. No Rhea Ripley, no Judgment Day, no problem.
I think we might.
Straight work.
I think we're heading towards a world like within the next 5 years where the two best wrestlers are Yota Tsuji and Dominic Mysterio.
Oh Lord,
Zach, what did you think about Dom and Dragon Lee?
Oh man, this is a really fun match. Dragon Lee, obviously, just an amazing talent, and I think he's down on NXT just to get used to the WWE production system and the camera, just how they do stuff. Because he obviously knows how to wrestle.
He's big. He's big leagues. He's fucking awesome.
Absolutely.
I'm kind of surprised
Absolutely.
that he went to NXT, and no disrespect to Jade, but Jade is skipping NXT and looking like she's going straight to the main roster.
Speaking of Dragon Lee, he has a very comfortable promo style and backstage acting style. Like, it feels like he knows his character. I think that I'm high on Dragon Lee. This match fucking ruled, though. Like, it was really
it was
fucking
way
good.
better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be good, but by the end, I'm like, what
I'll tell
the
you what,
fuck?
we're going to get to predictions in a little bit, but NXT No Mercy is no fucking joke. That's a
good card.
pay-per-view, man.
Yeah, it's a pretty good card.
Did you guys like the clip that I sent you on the text message?
I was just gonna comment on it that Zach sent the best clip of the week.
So why don't you explain it, Bo?
He says
It was
you guys
Dragon
see when Dragon Lee jumps over the top rope, and the only thing that hits it is his dick.
And then Zach sends a gif of Dragon Lee doing a tope suicida over the top rope, and his dick
Just great.
within his shorts grazes the top rope.
But he
And it
didn't.
like dongs the top rope.
Zach didn't send this from something he found on the internet. He taped it off his own
No,
television.
Television, yes.
No,
yes.
is that
Show
true?
us.
Yes, it has the play.
Was that
button.
was that really off of your television?
Yes.
I used my phone to record my TV because I saw it happen, and I was like, I gotta.
Oh my god, that is like the gif of all gifs. Like it could be a meme like forever, like when you almost made it. You almost made it, but you fucked her again.
Right. So say,
It just clips your dick.
so say, get this bitch away from me.
Man, we got to get that famous. We got to put a BFR stamp on it and get that gif out there.
Pro Wrestling Tees.
Right? God, I love where your head's at. Nia Jax beats Zoe Starks. Drew beats Kofi Kingston. More Drew heel seeds planted in this scenario. I loved Miz TV when everybody was just basically checking the shit out of Miz. That's why I think he's going to be when his time is done and over with. Miz is a Hall of Famer on that shit alone.
All right, can I take a second here for this Drew Miz segment and just take another second to reiterate why I always shit on Xavier Woods? It's like this was a fucking fun segment, and Xavier Woods drops that fucking just the lamest dick joke possible. And he comes out with the fucking trombone. That is mid-card. No, sorry, that's undercard shit, bro. He should be fighting. He should be fighting Evil Uno for a fake belt somewhere. That is minor league shit. I hated him. That being said, I love the way McIntyre was during this segment to New Day and to Miz. I was like, man, is this motherfucker a face? They're trying to make this guy a heel?
Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens have been the two smartest people about this whole Jey Uso thing. Not necessarily ready to be like, okay, let's embrace him. Be like, look, motherfucker, I remember.
The Miz was also very funny in this segment.
Classic Miz. Main event, KO and Sammy lose to Finn Balor and Damian Priest with an assist from one J.D. McDonagh. So obviously J.D. McDonagh got Damian Priest beat down earlier in the night. This was the comeback, the receipt, if you will, a little love coming back to Damian Priest, where J.D. McDonagh helps him out, gets the chairs, starts whacking everybody with chairs to allow Damian Priest to get the win and retain the tag team titles. So like I said, ultimately, I think we're going to get a War Games where you have J.D. McDonagh either this gets you in or he's already in Judgment Day at this point, and this will get Damian Priest out. But War Games, I think, is the end game for this whole deal.
Beer. What do you think?
Man, isn't Survivor Series like November?
Yep.
Man, we've been doing this like I was just talking last week. We've been doing this for so long. Hopefully, they would just do like I don't know, just do a War Games not on Survivor Series. It does make sense. It lines up, but they're gonna drag this out for like 2 more months.
Dude,
it's like already the same shit every week.
The month's basically over, dude.
Yeah, but it's also like people start talking about it way too early. Also, I mean, no shade on Jason.
Guilty as charged, nigga.
It's not just you. It is wrestling Twitter. Like they start talking about Survivor Series and War Games so early.
Ever again. I won't fantasy book ever again.
You know what that says to me though, Zach? That just says to me how much people like that format.
Yeah, that makes sense.
War Games is a big deal. And you got Steven Regal back over there in WWE. People are already throwing out his gift for, screaming War Games. It just makes sense.
War Games was a hero to most, but it never meant shit to me.
My man, Chuck.
We got anything else about the main roster?
No, not main roster. NXT, we're going to talk about here in a little bit for predictions.
Yeah, we got predictions coming up, so we can. Because, we have 6 hours of AEW television to parse here, and Zach's got a tall order. Let's get to that 2 count.
1, 2, 3.
Zach's going to be like, let's talk NJPW. Zach, what's the 2 count?
All right, you guys watch MLW this week?
You say, I got something for you,
Mance Warner cut a really good promo I want to talk about. Anyway.
That was an absolutely perfect delivery. Just absolutely perfect delivery.
I say, I got something for you niggas.
All right, what you got, Zach?
There is 100%, 6 hours here, so we'll kind of breeze through some of it. So looking at, we had Rampage Grand Slam, which was the second half of Rampage. So Sting and Darby Allin beat Luchasaurus and Christian Cage. No surprise here because they are undefeated. But this is going to lead into Collision, so we can talk more about that here in just a minute. Chris Statlander, Orange Cassidy, and Hook beat Anna Jay, Angela Parker, and Matt Menard. So similar. This there's more with Chris Statlander, but this was kind of a fun. There's not intergender, but it was a mixed tag, and I like that team of Chris Statlander, Orange Cassidy, and Hook. That's just an intriguing team, but we don't really have to talk about it. It's nothing. Not worth a whole lot of time.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't watch Rampage. I'm gonna say, you say what happened in Rampage. Jason, interject as needed. and I'll move it along as needed. But go ahead, Zach. I didn't even watch it. I forgot it existed until tonight.
Oh yeah, there was some good stuff on here.
God damn. About to say fuck a Rampage, and this is where once again fuck you needs to be a drop because he basically said
Didn't
fuck you.
write it down.
He already decided he was going to Kansas City at this point. He
It
was
was
like, fuck it.
that's part of it, and the other part of it was on Friday night when I was with you at the fucking restaurant.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
I forgot about it.
Fuck your couch.
Right? Sorry, TK. We gonna go get some eats.
Two Beer, what you got? Keep it going.
So Tony Schiavone interviewed Don Callis and Nosuke Takeshita. So the main thing here was, Sammy Guevara coming out, talking about why he joined the Don Callis family. Of course, Jericho comes out and they get the beat down on Jericho, and then Omega is the guy who runs in with a pipe to chase off the heel. So this is setting up the match at WrestleDream, which is Kenny and Jericho versus Sammy and Takeshita, which I thought was initially just going to be a tag, but then they added in Kota Ibushi on the Kenny and Jericho side, and they added Will Ospreay to the Don Callis family side. So that is a fucking great sounding match.
That is a loaded match. That's like, you remember the pitcher? Antonio Alfonseca for the Marlins, and he had 6 fingers, but one of them was just like a little fucking dumbass finger. That's Sammy Guevara in this match.
Oh man!
It was like we planned that. You you walked right into it. You're like, yeah, the nub. Did not plan that. Thank you.
That's horrible, dude.
Anyway, that's a loaded match.
Oh,
I love Sammy Guevara. Hey, Sammy, we kid.
Come find him.
Come find me.
Yeah, right.
Analogy.
That's great.
In this match, the Righteous beating Hardy Boys, Best Friends, and the Kingdom, so that they can become number 1 contenders to the ROH Tag Team Championship. Pretty solid match. There's a lot of talent in this ring. The Righteous would be number 4 on the list of the people that I would thought on paper to win this, but they're the number 1 contenders, and they are, which we'll talk about here in just, once we get to Dynamite, but that's what they were set up for. We had a trios title match, the first of 2 trios title matches, because we have 2 trio title belts. It was the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass, and who did they wrestle? Sorry, they wrestled. Oh yeah, Dark Order, Evil Widow, Alex Reynolds, and John Silver. So this is just a TV match. Really don't have anything to say. It's not leading to any storylines. It's just there to have them on the show. And then we had, sorry, my goddamn app just closed and crashed.
Holy shit.
I got him.
Go ahead. Unprofessional bullshit.
Sky Blue.
I got it. Okay. Yeah, Julia Hart beat Sky Blue. This was just there, again, to get Julia Hart a win. She's getting a big push right now. This is 24-match winning streak for her.
I was about to say a win, motherfucker. God damn. I say, what she got? She ain't lost in like 17 months? What the fuck? We passed the win part.
Another win, I could say, instead of just A. But she wrestled
and
on
another
Wednesday,
win. Yeah.
Friday, I think, and then she wrestled on Wednesday. She might even wrestle on Saturday also. She's stacking them up, which is definitely the way that you build a contender. So good on them. They're building her up quite nicely. I also want to say that she has maybe the best moonsault I've ever seen. She's 21 years old.
It's something.
It's really, really good.
Tiffany Stratton's on line 1.
Always better than Tiffany
fucking betas. We're talking about the best moonsault of all time. You named a 21-year-old and a 23-year-old little blondes.
I was thinking Kurt Angle and Chad Gable. They both have, they're similar to Julius.
Either way, it's Horny Thursday.
Horny Thursday. Kurt Angle's was really nice. I mean, the best one ever. I don't know. Julia Hart's is really good. It's really good.
Thursday. Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Whatever. You know what the fuck we talking about. Go ahead.
Mike Santana, Dirty Bulk Bronson. So basically, this is leading up to Santana versus Ortiz match. Because Ortiz came out to confront him on the ramp, and Santana walked away from him. So I don't have high hopes for either of those dudes as single competitors. Santana thinks that he can get out there and be that, and he's done it on the indie scene, but in major promotion, he's a good wrestler, but there's got so many guys. He's gonna get lost in the shuffle.
God damn.
I agree totally.
Yeah,
I agree totally.
You might have said the same thing about Eddie Kingston.
He is not.
And Santana's got more reps. He's got more experience at this point in front of big crowds and stuff.
Eddie Kingston is
at least for longer
a totally different animal. Santana.
Hey, did you hear my hot take of the week last week when I
did.
Did that make you flip?
At first, I was like, "Well, what
Did
the
make
fuck?"
You flip?
But then I was like, "Well," and then you explained it. I was like, "Okay,
Kingston
he should be on the list." Kingston, 9 guys that are Will Ospreay. Kingston, Zack Sabre Jr., Jake Lee from Noah.
Wait, are you actually going through the top 10 wrestlers of the year right now? You can just rattle that off like that? Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
ZSJ. Any of those guys.
ZSJ.
Any of those guys I would accept as if Will Ospreay didn't exist in 2023. At that point, any of those 4 guys I just named could be Wrestler of the Year.
All right, Zach, what was next after the Proud and the Powerful? That was their name.
No, man, no.
That was their name.
No.
That was their name.
Man.
They were called that.
No, hell no.
They were called that.
Go 3 Bear. Just go.
Or as I call them, the Hung Bucks, defeated Mogul Embassy, which is Brian Cage, Bishop Khan, and Toa Leona, with Prince Nana, who was doing the dance whenever Swerve came out in the middle of this match, just to watch. But it's kind of like a voyeur for this match. So they came out to Carry On My Wayward Son. That was pretty cool. I always like that. And this was just a total party match, and it was a lot of fun. I think Mogul Embassy rules. At the same time, unless they're cheating, they shouldn't be beating the Hung Bucks at all. And the Hung Bucks are the new Ring of Honor Trio champions. They've been it before, but now
that happened.
Yeah,
that was the main event.
Hangman Page and the Young Bucks are champs.
Yep.
Did Hangman come out with the belt the other night? Wednesday Dynamite?
No. None of the
dude.
None of them did. The Bucks
didn't come out with their belts.
The Bucks didn't come out with their titles either.
What kind of shit is that?
Kind of stealing my thunder.
Yeah, and in New Japan, they always even if you're the
Okada comes out match with the never open weight 6-man title.
Yes,
exactly.
But
yeah.
I think that's why I didn't know that happened on Rampage, is because I watched the fuck out of Dynamite and Collision, and nobody walked out with anything.
Yep, but that happened. It was a great match. If you go back and watch anything on that
why
show,
would you make
really
them?
You want to watch.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Why would you make them the 6-men champions though?
Ding 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 ding
well,
ding 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 ding.
Why wouldn't you?
Because they're not going to represent. They're on TV all the time, and they're not even going to walk out with the belt. So if the Young Bucks have belts, and you're trying to put over your promotion, and they come out on your promotion without wearing the belts, then the belts might as well not even exist.
I don't know why they didn't come out with the belts, but
well, that's what I'm saying. It's.
I understand making them the champs, but I don't understand them not coming out with the belts.
I don't understand them making them the champs. You could have easily.
I don't understand either.
You could have easily had any. There's so many.
They do not
teams.
need those titles. That is ridiculous.
Number one. Number two.
I can't believe that happened.
There are so
this is
many
like me
other
watching
teams that you could have. Mogul Embassies.
This is a fresh reaction.
Mogul Embassies over 300 days, damn near a year as 6-man champs. That's a rub. You could have given that rub to somebody else, but instead you gave it to the Bucks and Hangman Page. Come on, dog. Damn.
Yeah,
I've never done that.
I'm furious at it. I'm not even kidding.
I would assume either they're going to start combining these titles, or you notice like they're putting the Ring of Honor titles on, like legit stars. They're not really treating it as like a secondary promotion. So maybe they want Page and the Young Bucks on Honor Club because they want more subscriptions, they want more pay-per-view buys or whatever.
I get what you're saying, but if they come out on Dynamite 4 days after they win it, on TV at least, and they're not even wearing the belts, then the belts don't exist. That's all I'm saying. Like, I get putting it on them if they're going to go out there and be like, these are our champion. This is our championship, and we are proud to have this. And they put the belt over. That's one thing.
Flash them.
To have them not even wear it, that's fucking weird. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just surprised that this happened because I watched Dynamite and Hangman Page. I watched the shit out of that segment. Hangman Page didn't have a belt. I don't know. Fucking weird. All right.
All right. We had Collision opened up with a hell of a match. Triple threat. And I'm going to give myself a little pat on the back. I completely called the finish of this match last week. Not that it was rocket appliances or anything, but it was Christian Cage defeated Luchasaurus and Darby Allin by pinning Luchasaurus after Darby Allin gave him the coffin drop. And then not only that, he made him put him on his shoulders and parade him around the ring with the belt after he pinned him for it. It's fucking beautiful.
You ain't shit. God damn.
Luchasaurus teased the turn also.
He did. And that's why I was like, okay.
That's a little bit of story development,
yeah,
man.
That's really all I need. Bring it back. Christian's like, come on, motherfucker. You know you my dog. You know you my dog. Stop tripping.
God
now
damn.
put me on my put me on your shoulders. Walk me around.
He's a dinosaur. You better get angry about that kind of shit.
This was a match.
Dinosaurs get mad, I heard.
This was a match that had a very unique dynamic that you don't always see, and it was really fun to watch.
Shit.
A+ stuff.
Yes.
Dude, Darby Allin, wild like no other wrestler runs wild. Like him in a handicap match, he's just a fucking ping pong ball in like a money tornado phone booth. He's just flying everywhere at a full sprint. It's insane.
That's true.
You ain't lying, man. God bless that dude. He ain't gonna be able to walk in 20 years, but he's bouncing around right now.
Yeah. So basically, what this leads to is there's going to be a singles match between Christian Cage and Darby Allin, 2 out of 3 falls at WrestleDream in Seattle, which I wish I was going to, but I am not. So then we had Hook and Rob Van Dam, which this is very fun. It's a fun tag team because of the connection with, Taz and ECW and all that. Beating Matt Bernard and Angelo Parker. My wife was like, who's that? Because she heard Pantera. And she was a big Pantera fan back in the day.
What?
And what do you mean, what?
Your wife was a big Pantera fan?
Her name is in the title of the band. Anyway.
Oh.
But it's spelled differently. But she was a big Pantera fan. Yeah, she likes a lot of metal. Still does a little bit. She's not super lame anymore. Anyway.
I didn't think she was lame, but I wouldn't have guessed the metal.
In a trillion years.
I want to talk to her about Mouth for War, #1 off of Bulgar.
Yeah.
One of my favorite songs of all time.
This is fun. Rob Van Dam last time, he was there to put somebody over, but was this in Philly or was this? It seemed like it was maybe like Rob Van Dam's like town. I forget. I think they said it was like Rob Van Dam's hometown or whatever.
So it had to
That's
be
Michigan.
like Michigan or whatever.
Yeah, it's Grand Rapids or something.
I thought it was Battle Creek or some shit.
Battle
whatever.
Creek. That's right. Battle Creek, where all the cereal's made.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. That's a good place to be.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, we got a video package with Eddie Kingston. He is going to be challenged. He challenged Katsuyori Shibata. So it's going to be the ROH World title and the New Japan Strong title on the line. The Pure Championship is not on the line because it's not under Pure rules. So this does sound like a very fun match. And if Shibata were to win, I don't think he will, but if he were to win, he would be holding a belt from three different promotions, I guess, because of the Pure. But that'd be pretty wild.
No, I'm definitely looking forward to that shit. I think that's on the Eddie Kingston's wish list of matches as long as he's champion. And if they go over to Japan being AEW, obviously they're going to Seattle, but they actually go to Japan sometime in late 23 or 24. That'll be more of Eddie getting his wish list checked off. So, like I said, if it wasn't for Will Ospreay, this could be the year of Eddie Kingston, especially this back half of the year for sure.
Absolutely. Dark Order video package. I don't even really know why the Dark Order's on TV anymore. There's too many other guys. It is. Like the Kingdom. The Kingdom should get more TV time. They've been doing really funny stuff. Julia Hart, like I said, she wrestled again. She beat Kira Hogan here. So she wrestled Wednesday, she wrestled Friday, she wrestled Saturday, and then she wrestled Wednesday. Again, great moonsault. What else?
Hey, Kira
Jay
Hogan,
White.
come find me.
She doesn't play on our team, dog.
What?
She doesn't play on this team.
He's like,
Still.
I'm not safe.
It's a spectrum. I had very strange feelings when I went and saw Young Guns 2 starring Christian Slater as Arkansas Dave Rudaball. Very strange feelings. For years.
I'm gonna let you and your therapist go.
I'm 100% straight, except for the part of me that wants to have sex with Christian Slater as Arkansas Dave Rudaball in Young Guns 2. So I'm like 91% straight.
I prefer Christian Slater and Sleepers. That's just me.
Oh, my God. No.
You pulled that one out of your ass. God damn.
Come on, man. Arkansas Dave Rudaball. He's such a rascal.
Go, 3-Beer, go.
I'd let him rascal me.
Right. This was Jay White and Andrade El Idolo. A good kind of TV match. I think if they were on like a pay-per-view, they really would have went all out. But, this was super solid. It was just as good as I had expected to be. What did you guys think of it?
Honestly, if you would have told me that Andrade and Jay White, just 2 years ago, you'd been like, hey, you're going to see Andrade fight Jay White on television. I've been like in what multiverse, bro? Right. I've been like, that sounds impossible. So when I saw that match coming up, I was like, I'm going to watch the fuck out of this. It was just okay. I guess I had pretty high hopes for it.
I disagree. I like the match personally. I just think that
it was okay. I mean, I'm not saying it was bad. I'm just saying it didn't exceed my expectations.
It wasn't, 2-5.
It
was somewhere
hit my expectations.
Okay, there you go. Completely fair. The guy that I thought was going to won. Andrade looked good in the loss. For me, it's more about Andrade. What do you do with him, with anything at all? LFI, I thought would have been the move there, but obviously that hasn't happened. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens there.
We had a quick match with the World Tag Team Champions, FTR, beating the Workhorsemen. And,
they got the Workhorsemen, all right.
Yeah, they sprinted through this thing. JD Drake did a goddamn moonsault, and the crowd went wild.
Okay.
And saying, holy shit.
The crowd was into this.
Best moonsault ever, right there.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. There it is.
We'll end that
Drake
discussion.
watching Bam Bam Bigelow videos.
No shit.
But yeah, it was super fun while it lasted. This is kind of the second week in a row of just kind of open challenges where FTR was kind of given some quote unquote jobbers a lot of offense, and then ultimately beating them. And then Aussie Open came out in suits even, and they were there for commentary, and then they basically came out to do a little promo thing afterwards. FTR, this is very funny because goddamn, FTR bald.
That's hard.
Gets down on his hands and knees, and he begs Aussie Open to bring their best. And if I was him, I'd been like, you barely beat these fucking jobbers the last 2 weeks. Like, you want me to bring my best? But it's still pretty funny.
He's heating up.
I love that. What do you think of it, Jason?
I just hope that TK does right by Aussie Open. I'm not asking TK to have them win.
Speak on it.
I just want Aussie Open to be presented as the tag team that I know them to be from New Japan, the tag team that I would hope they would be in ROH. And
you don't want them to act like 3-man band and and put over something called a kangaroo kick.
Okay, that's
downright disrespectful.
To me, the disrespectful part is, right. To me, the disrespectful part is how Aussie Open has kind of just been forgotten about when it comes to the ROH tag titles, even though they've dropped them. They have no gumption to go after them again. Granted, now here's FTR in the way, so that kind of makes sense. But I mean, just at least say, hey, we lost the titles. We wanted to, rematch with Adam Cole and MJF. And at that point, you want to write something from that point, go ahead. I don't give a shit. But the fact that they have never even really come back and mentioned it, maybe once, that's just not enough for me. And that's my biggest fear with Will Ospreay coming over. Will Ospreay, to me, is a slam dunk for AEW. It just makes too much sense. I just don't want him to come over and then just be a part of this big toy chest that TK can grab and pull out anybody he wants to at any given time. If Will Ospreay comes to AEW, he needs to be treated like a big deal because he is a big deal, and make it so. I'm not saying he needs to be the champion, but he needs to come in and have significant feuds off the bat.
I think Aussie Open, once they lost those ROH tag titles, I just kind of assumed they were getting upgraded, and I do kind of expect them to beat FTR in Seattle.
Man, hold your water, dog. We ain't there yet.
We had the hot and flexible CJ.
We ain't even lit a pre-roll yet, and you making
right?
Unprofessional bullshit.
So I'm not saying, man, we got a whole segment to go before we get to predictions. Calm down.
The hot, and I forgot about predictions. The hot and flexible CJ, Miro, are talking about Miro here, and this is so basically what I'm gathering is that CJ wanted to be back in wrestling. She wants to manage. Miro doesn't want him, or doesn't want her to manage him though. And then she's like, okay, but I'm going to manage other dudes. But please don't beat those dudes up. And I don't know if managing is like a metaphor here or if they're like,
you ain't shit.
But for real, like Miro's whole storyline was he had a god, he had a wife, and he had a title, and then he lost the title, and then he lost the wife and the god. So maybe he should go back to those things. I don't know. But if it basically sounds like Miro's going to be running through all of the people that CJ is going to be managing. But CJ has like good star presence, and I think she could add something to the act. So I'm excited to see her.
Who's the first person that CJ Perry decides to manage?
That is a good.
I already have my answer, so I wouldn't.
Nick Nemeth.
make this brother get over there first before we start doing some shit like that? God damn. I was saying Powerhouse Hobbs. That way it connects. It makes sense. You have a reason for Miro to really go after Powerhouse Hobbs the second time around. The beatdown is always a receipt that you have in your hand, but now if his wife is managing the guy that beat him down after the match, I think that's a safe way to continue that feud. So I said Powerhouse Hobbs in my mind when I first saw this segment.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you think Tony Khan will? Oh wow!
Have we seen that motherfucker? I mean, damn. Speaking of on the side of the milk carton, if you have seen this man, he was formerly called Wardlow. He was the two-time TNT champion. We haven't seen him in a few months. You know, if he's just alive, can you just somebody just hit us up on BFR Pod on Twitter or Friends of BFR? We have to do a wellness check on this motherfucker in a minute.
Yeah, but say he doesn't even come back. Say they do it in like, say Miro runs through 3-4 guys that she manages, and then he comes back, and we have Miro Wardlow with Miro's ex-wife or whatever you're gonna call her managing Wardlow.
I mean, it would at least
be fun.
Yeah, it would at least have my interest. I would give you that. But Wardlow, for me, he's got to come back in some fashion where he can't lose right away. He's been gone so long that, you know, people are talking about him being the next guy to jump from AEW to WWE. And if he did, could you blame him?
Cool, then he's the guy, the first one to come back and stop Miro. How much fun would that be? Fantasy book. Give me the fucking pencil. Give me the pencil.
Bill gone 5 minutes. He taking the pencil. What's up?
If it is Powerhouse Hobbs, I just hope TK doesn't make CJ make out with him at the entrance ramp for a few minutes while Miro does his matches.
Dude,
do the cuck storyline with Bobby Lashley all over again.
I was getting ready to say that's an event special if you've ever seen one in your lifetime, and I would never ever forget that shit. That was just brutal to watch. I'm like, dude, I feel like I'm watching porn with 10 million other people right now. What the fuck?
What are we talking about?
Watching porn with 10 million people.
I've been to Italy.
You know when it's you can click on the others are watching videos. Anyway, we were talking about CJ managing other guys besides Miro, and Jason said Powerhouse Hobbs, and I just made the joke that TK should have Powerhouse Hobbs making out with CJ at the top of the ramp during all of Miro's matches, just like Vince.
And I said Wardlow.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I guess you had to be there. What's next?
Anyway.
He don't sell that like a motherfucker. Goddamn.
I'm really high.
So next we have the Texas Death Match. So this was awesome. Bryan Danielson beat Ricky Starks. They've got really good chemistry in the ring. This was not as good as the strap match, but that's like not saying much because the strap match was one of the best matches of the year. But this thing was absolutely awesome. It was brutal. It was still just a fantastic match. And I say I don't really like last man standing style, but this was last man standing as far as like the rules go, and it worked. But Starks lost. Danielson's not going to lose before his big pay-per-view main event, but now we got Wheeler Yuta getting in his face, so maybe he'll be able to get a little bit of heat back.
Yeah, they cut off from they cut it off a little too early because it did look like Ricky Starks was trying to shake his hand. I don't know. I'm not going to nitpick too much about that. I liked their first match more, but this match was completely worth watching, and I avoided spoilers, and I was happy that I did, and it was really fucking good. Ricky Starks is really good as a heel.
I agree with that totally. A part of me post-match when Ricky Starks was trying to shake Danielson's hand, I'm like, okay, what is this? Are we getting ready to like move Ricky Starks over to BCC because Danielson's going away for a little bit? I don't know. that to me was an intriguing part. The match itself, I agree with both you guys. The first match was better, but this was really good too. It's getting Ricky Starks over. But then now it's what next? What more can we do to get Ricky Starks over? We've done a good job to this point, but there's got to be more to be done.
All right, well, we had a Dynamite go-home show for WrestleDream. It was a very solid program. Started out with, a dream match. Ray Phoenix with the most logical opponent of all time, Jeff Jarrett, and 4 other people at ringside. So he managed to eke out a victory to retain the international title here. But it was a pretty fun match, all things considered.
You know how they talk about how, and I say this as somebody that likes and respects Jeff Jarrett. Both my friend Jeff Jarrett and Jeff Jarrett, who's on television, the old Double J.
Yeah.
The mark of the best wrestlers are the ones that can, whoever they fight, they can alter their style of match and they can have any kind of match with anybody. Jeff Jarrett has one kind of match. It's a Jeff Jarrett match. It is a fucking Memphis-style fucking hodgepodge of chicanery and silliness. And there is a time and a place for that. And I watched this match. I enjoyed this match.
Oh, I did too.
I like Jeff Jarrett matches. But, I mean, Jeff Jarrett's just, he's just Jeff Jarrett.
One trick pony.
That's my analysis.
He looks good though. He looks good.
He looks really good. The guy is a one-trick pony. He has Memphis matches. He does them really great though.
Probably throws the best punch in wrestling.
Jason, how many stars are you giving this match?
You would catch me in my star mode. 2.75.
Oh damn! It
does nothing. Jeff Jarrett does nothing for me.
I enjoyed it. What was next?
Then we had a fantastic video package. Adam Cole and MJF are on a boat. Apparently MJF's dad's boat. They're drinking some beers. They're fishing. Cole's being genuine. He's like, hey, thanks for...
Fuck it. He ain't going to worry about it. Come on, let's get in this boat.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he's like, thanks for having me out here. He's like, you didn't bring me out here, though, to just hit me with the diamond ring and throw me overboard, did you? And that was right after MJF grabbed the diamond ring. And he's like, oh, no. He's like, that's crazy. Yeah. Like, besides, like, the last motherfucker I threw overboard, I almost got caught. But
he's like, what the fuck?
Basically talking about, it's okay, it's healthy to have more than one friend. And even though MJF's not used to the friendship thing, and more than one friend is not for MJF, he's like, I respect the fact that you need more than one friend, so they'll be cool. And then they thought that they caught a fish, but it was actually Captain Insano and a duck floaty. So this was this is pretty good. This ranks pretty high in the MJF Adam Cole vignettes.
Oh, man.
Jason, what did you think of it?
I honestly, I didn't think I would like it at first, but then once they got onto the boat and MJF was sneaking over to the water cooler to get the diamond ring, that's when I was like, okay, now we're starting to cook with gas. And then Adam Cole, this is why I love Cole and MJF. They're smart baby faces. They're at least playing baby faces in this point, where they're smart enough to know that there's some heel shit that can easily happen. So Adam Cole, going back to heel form, was like, hey, you're not going ready to hit me with the diamond ring, are you? And, of course, MJF's like, nah, man, I never did. He's taking it all, putting it back in the cooler. That, to me, is smart comedy, but smart wrestling. These guys are both heels. They know there's something coming up, and at any given point, it can happen. Adam Cole is just smart enough to just say, hey, you're not going to hit me, are you? MJF's like, nah, man, I ain't going to hit you. It's now back to where you could debate on who's going to turn on who. I still have Cole turn on MJF.
I mean, I think it's immaterial at this point. Like, I think we're so far away from anybody turning on anybody.
Oh, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
This is the silliest they've gotten. This was the silliest segment that they've had. It really feels like it was.
Dodgeball.
Dude, the Big Show couldn't tell him to fuck themselves because he had a fish hook in his lip. He was trying to say what the fuck.
Yeah, they caught.
Come on.
He's trying to pull it out of his mouth. I'm like, oh, stop.
They caught the Big Show with a fishing hook.
And then they hung out.
I don't know. I liked it just fine.
I still think the Outback Steakhouse one was goofier. We did have Renee Paquette in with Don Callis and Tadasuke Takeshita and Sammy Guevara, and they show a video package. Don Callis and Takeshita went to Japan. They were there for DDT, but they were in Japan and they shot an angle for WrestleDream of them going to Ibushi's gym and beating up one of the trainers and Ibushi, like Takeshita. Like they were having like kind of a brawl for a minute, and Ibushi was, murder Ibushi, and he was going ham. But then Callis hit him with an umbrella, and he turned up to do the murder Ibushi thing, and then Takeshita hit him from behind with a kettlebell, which is brutal. So they shot an angle for this in Japan. That was pretty neat.
Hold on, I gotta go inside for a second, but I'll say this: Don Callis, best. He's the thing I look forward to every week the most. He is must-see TV. He's great.
So I watched the Takeshita match for DDT against Mao. Mao is one of his former stablemates or whatever. He's a junior heavyweight, and obviously Takeshita's a heavyweight. Their match was, I guess it was this weekend. I think it was either Friday or Saturday. Doesn't matter. Don Callis came out at some point in the match towards the end. And I was like, oh, shit. I'm like, what the fuck? We got Don Callis and Takeshita in DDT. To me, that was more of the bigger story than anything else. It was the fact that I saw Don Callis that weekend, and then fast forward to Wednesday. Now you're seeing kind of an extended play off of that angle. This is, more so what we did on our trip to Japan. He beats Mao, he beats down Kota Ibushi and trainer. Now he's on the way back to Seattle to have this match later on in the week. So for me, it was more so about Takeshita and Don Callis, making connections to other promotions, so that way you can have different matches where it's not just AEW and New Japan. It will be now AEW and DDT. Chris Jericho and Takeshita will have a match in November. I believe it's the 12th on a DDT Promotions. Will be one of their last big shows of the year. So they're doing stuff in that scenario. So for me, it was just more so AEW getting a broader reach into different promotions. And now hopefully that will bring other guys into the forefront. Like Takeshita, most of us didn't know who Takeshita was. Now we can't get enough of him.
I did. I mean, I saw him watch Vikingo like years ago in WZW. I bet Takeshita guy from way back.
Right. Since day one-ish. This motherfucker.
I bet Takeshita guy from the womb.
What's next?
Ricky Starks fighting Wheeler Yuta. So Wheeler Yuta is really mad that Ricky Starks took his lunch money to buy a new Gucci belt, and they're going to wrestle at WrestleDream. So,
yeah, looking forward to the match. I'm sure the match will be really good.
Looking forward to Ricky stomping that ass.
Yeah,
you better whoop this.
Predictions coming soon.
Right.
Next, we had. This is one of the reasons that I thought this was just a fantastic show. Trio match. Nick Jackson beat Brian Cage and Claudio Castagnoli. This was just like a PWG match. It was Nick Jackson's fourth singles match in AEW history, and one of those matches was against Rey Fenix, which is one of my favorite AEW matches of all time. It was like early in AEW Dynamite.
Looking forward to that match next week.
Now they're going to have it next week for the international title. So.
Yep. Looking forward to that.
What do you guys think of this match? I thought it was
Looking forward to
amazing.
Nick Jackson holding up 2 belts, the one that he doesn't bring down with him, and the international.
Oh man, don't forget they got a chance to be the number 1 contenders if they win that Fatal 4-Way at WrestleDream. I mean, damn, dude. I mean, is Nick Jackson that dude or what? I mean, is Brian Cage just invisible? I mean, good Lord. If there
Nick
was
Jackson, one half of the greatest tag team of all time.
And he is OVER. Can we get somebody else over? Possibly, perhaps. You know, I know it's the Nick Jackson show.
If you're going to have, any 3 of those guys would have a really good match with Phoenix, but I think Nick Jackson would have the best.
I heard the Jacksons are referring to those titles as the John Cena championship belts. That's just why Bill can't see them.
It's because they don't bring him down. Oh yeah, Nick Jackson's.
Maybe they're turned sideways.
Jason, don't scoff at what Zach just said. Nick Jackson versus Rey Fenix is the most desirable of those 3 matches that could have happened at taking the winner out of that 3.
I'm not saying that it's the most desirable. I'm saying what makes sense. And I said this. I didn't say it on the pod, but I'll say it right now. Tony Khan's a great matchmaker. He's not a very good booker. And this is a great match. Okay? But if you want to make some stars and make a bigger and better roster, you could have put Brian Cage in this and we've made him more of a star. You kind of tease him, and now it's a chance where he doesn't have the ROH titles. So this is a chance to do it. It's not Cardio needs it, and God knows Nick Jackson doesn't need it.
Yeah, but Nick Jackson is an EVP.
Like I said, good matchmaker. Okay, Booker.
What's
next, Zach?
Video package for the Righteous. These are actually pretty good. I like the dude Vincent, I think his name is. He comes off like a real deal kind of Charlie Manson kind of character. He does a pretty good job of it. But they're setting up for this leads into MJF and Adam Cole coming out to the ring. And this was maybe the longest segment of all time. So, of any wrestling show I've ever seen. But it was good.
And that's saying something because that's WWE involved.
It was a double segment. It was strange.
It was a double segment.
So, MJF and Adam Cole come out. So
was there a commercial
Adam
break?
Cole,
I don't think so.
It was like 45 minutes without a commercial. Adam Cole comes out, breaks. He's broken his ankle in 3 places, and he's torn ligaments. So this dude's out for a couple months, probably. He's going to have surgery. And that leads MJF to say he refuses to relinquish the titles, and he's going to wrestle the Righteous in a handicap match at WrestleDream. And that leads to Roderick Strong coming out, and man, it kills me when he does this. Adam! Adam! Like,
so annoying, but I love it.
Adorable.
And he's there with the Kingdom, and apparently there's an emergency, and he needs him. And he's like, I learned a lot on that boat. MJF says, "You go, take care of your boy." And Roderick Strong's yelling. I was like, "Hurry up!" And he's like, "I've got a broken foot."
I'm like, dude, come on, man.
So
He's
good.
skipping up the ramp, for Christ's sake. What do you want in this scenario? Fuck.
So you think that that's going to be the end of it, but no. Switchblade Jay White comes out. They got the guns, they got Card Blade, and then he goes out to the ring alone, and then they have a promo battle, and we don't have enough time in the podcast to go back and forth for everything they said. The basic gist is MJF says that he is choice meat and that Jay White is tofu, and Jay White says that MJF has gone soft. And it seems like we're leading to Jay White and MJF, which I'm all for.
Jason, what you think of that segment?
A lot to unpack. First part of the segment, obviously, the Adam Cole MJF part of it. I'll just respond to what you guys said last week. I was not mad about Adam Cole jumping off of the stage. That was a part of the script given. When CM Punk decides he wants to jump into the crowd because he's the world champion, that's just him being exuberant and not thinking of the big picture.
Who said that last week? Me or Zach?
I think it was you said that I would probably have the problem with it.
I agree with me.
Okay, well, I don't have a problem with it. To me, that's just a part of the breaks. Unfortunately, that's the breaks of the foot, ankle, and all that other good shit. My problem with it is the fact that they're the tag champs.
This motherfucker.
They shouldn't be the tag champs to begin with. So the fact that they're the tag champs is the problem.
Oh, you're putting the whole system on trial.
Shouldn't be the chance to begin with. Now you got MJF running around. He's going to be the handicapped. God forbid if he beats the righteous. But what the fuck is good as the righteous at that point is they can't beat one guy. Granted, he's a world heavyweight champion, but he's still one man. There's no reason in the world that MJF and Adam Cole should even be the champs. They could still have this storyline and not be the tag team champions. But yet and still, in Tony Khan's booking 101, this is the great way to do it. And this makes
what
the
up,
most
turd?
sense. What's up, Swerve? This is the great way to do it. I don't think so.
No, that was you talking to Tony Khan.
Okay, I just wanted to say what's up, Swerve, anyway, because Swerve's my man right about now.
All right. Well, is there any chance that this is a work? Like when we talk about
Adam Cole being hurt.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think so.
Well, I don't want to jump ahead to the end of Dynamite, but hold on a second.
Even still, I still say no, and I have an answer for that.
What do you think about Jay White and MJF?
MJF won the first part, then Jay White won the back half. So
why is there always got to be winners and losers? Why can't they just build each other up?
Because they weren't building each other up. They called the man tofu. Okay, if you've ever had tofu in your life, that's not exactly great. And MJF made a good point. You got to add shit to tofu to make it good.
This segment was a banger.
Ooh.
Jay White and MJF together was... I've seen people talking down about it. I've seen people saying, why is Jay White already there? I watched this and I was like, this is what I've wanted the whole time, that Jay White's been there.
They could have done that day one when Jay White walked in.
Right? Yep. It's like Jay White was taking all that MJF stuff and selling it the exact right way. He wasn't no-selling it. He was like selling it, no-selling it.
Talking about his goatee or whatever, his pubic hair.
Yeah, and he was playing it up to the crowd, really old school. Jay White's got that thing, man. He's got it. He can play to a crowd really well, very natural at it. And when he went at MJF and the crowd got back behind MJF, I felt like Jay White saw it happen and then kind of he turned like 4 degrees to the left or to the right or whatever. He didn't really turn a whole bunch. He just like adjusted the way that he was talking a little bit. A+ shit for me. I loved it. Jay White versus MJF is what I want to see.
Yeah, if before you weren't very aware of Jay White, you just thought he was running around hurting people with the Bang Bang Gang, he just showed how great he is and what he can do. For sure. Because I was texting JCB during the MJF promo, and I'm like, he is fucking crushing him. And then Jay White did his thing, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
I don't know.
I'm sitting there waiting. I'm like, "Okay, come on, Jay.
These are big boys."
Yeah, I was like,
calling yourself filet mignon and calling the other guy tofu. It sounds like it's from like 1973, like when tofu first got introduced in LA or whatever.
But for me, it made all the sense in the world. And that's why I was like, okay,
yeah,
now,
but that's a weak insult, though, right?
Shit, if you
say it right,
okay, the way he said it.
But it doesn't ring true though, because Jay White's not tofu. Jay White's the real fucking deal.
He showed that.
I'm not disagreeing with that. For those, and I've had this argument online with plenty of people. Who's Jay White? Jay White's ain't supposed to be here, and I've defended Jay White on multiple occasions. For those people that heard that line rang true and real. You need more for Jay White for those people to be converted. They probably never will. That's their business. For me, it was like, oh shit. Now, Jay White, who I consider one of the best talkers in the game, is sitting over here catching that work from MJF, one of the best talkers in the game. What's Jay White going to do? He turned it right back around, like you said, turned it a little bit, and then he got right back to MJF.
They were on the same level.
It was professional. Professional as fuck.
Nobody was outdoing anybody. They were on the same. I know you didn't. I'm just saying That's what I saw. I saw two guys in the exact same level. I saw Jay White as immediately a title contender. Probably should hold it at some time because that's how good I see him as. But also, we were watching NJPW when he was champion. So I've seen him be champ. He fucking rules. So I was into this segment quite a bit.
Yeah, he's super confident, and he's just a natural in the main event picture. We had a sit down. Jim Ross is with Christian Cage and Darby Allin, and this is really good. It's typical Christian Cage on his bullshit.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys want to go into it here. I know somebody mentioned it earlier and had some
Nick
feelings.
Wayne's mom, man. That woman.
I just want to say that Christian Cage, like, I was laughing out loud at what he was saying. I was like, holy shit.
He's like, everybody is free game. Your mama, your daddy, your dad, uncle. I don't give a rat's ass who it is.
I used to have
Cage is on fire.
I used to have this buddy. He was Matula's buddy when me and Matula used to live together, and he would come hang out at our place, and he'd hang out way too late. He'd be getting all fucked up. And his girl lived right down the street, and he was staying over there. And she would call, and he would just hold the mic up, or hold the phone up to his ear, and he would just look at us. He'd put it on mute, and he'd be like, "Oh my God, the shit she's saying to me." He's like, she is so mad. He's like, she is crazy. That's how I was laughing during Christian's segment the other night. I was like, look at this motherfucker. This guy is fucking crazy,
I'm
man.
like, man, look, Darby better than me because I'd be like, man, this interview over because I'm about to hurt this motherfucker here in like 30 seconds. Fuck you. I'm about to beat your ass.
When Darby said everybody you talk shit about is already dead, I almost lost my mind. I was like, that's such a funny gimmick.
And it's so true.
It's just me, the dude that talks shit about dead people all the time.
Dead people catching strays ain't cool, man. That's all I'm gonna say on that.
Man, that's hilarious.
It's very hilarious, without question.
Luchasaurus banned from ringside, Sting banned from ringside. Those guys.
Have we got no money from that?
No.
I have not got
no
it.
royalty check.
Hey, Tony Khan.
Yeah.
What up, turd?
Give me my money.
Charge you for using that.
They're going to be like, who the fuck are you? We're going to be like,
Zach, 5'8", 250 pounds. Big fan of Monday Night Raw.
He ain't say no AEW. He's there Monday Night Raw.
that'll get it done. What up, turd?
So you guys, since all these people have banned from ringside,
Oh, shit.
you think we get Adam Copeland at WrestleDream? His contract's up Saturday.
Yes, I was going to save it for the predictions, but yeah, I think he'll be there in some form or fashion, whether he helps Christian or not. I think he will definitely be there on Saturday or Sunday. Yes.
Yeah, not to get into the predictions, but I feel like if he does, he'll have such a huge pop and he'll be a babyface that I feel like he should just feud with Christian because Christian's on such a fantastic, heel run here. He should not be getting cheered at all.
Oh, what if they just go on like a huge old school team heel run?
That's what I'm waiting for.
And just fucking are just shitty.
Yeah.
To everybody.
That's what I'm waiting for. That's what I'm waiting for. I don't want to see Edge and Christian against each other. I want to see Edge and Christian with each other. I don't give a fuck if Christian leads that charge or not. I think the two of them together obviously have chemistry. If you can get Edge
and Christian?
Edge and Christian to pick
they have chemistry.
I said obviously, motherfucker. God damn.
Can you imagine Christian just talking about people's dead family
you.
members and Edge behind him just chiming in, just sprinkling little tidbits?
Dude, that is perfect.
We'd be crying.
That's
fucking crying.
I think Edge coming on Sunday is a little too perfect. I don't think it's happening.
Yeah, I was a little hungry earlier, so I put some peanut butter and jelly on the bread because it obviously has chemistry. And
it does.
You can eat a dick too, motherfucker. Okay, how about that?
Got an extra ingredient to that sandwich.
I just wanted to pile on.
That's okay. That's all right. I'm just the 5'7", 165 guy on the bottom. Don't worry about me.
So we had Orange Cassidy beating Penta El Zero Miedo, Matt Jackson, and Austin Gunn. This match was awesome. And I kind of thought maybe somebody else should have won this one. And Orange Cassidy could have lost by default by not getting pinned, and he just wins all the time. But this was an awesome match. There was one spot on here that was so cool. Matt Jackson had done like an O'Connor roll onto Orange Cassidy, and then the other two guys came up and he did his like Northern Lights suplex where he Northern Lights two guys at one time, but he did it while his legs were entwined with Cassidy's.
So badass.
It was awesome. So this was a super fun match, and Cassidy eked out a win like he always does.
Ain't nothing changed. It's AEW. OC wins all the time, except for it's John Moxley, and that makes sense. But no problem with that. This didn't have any like stakes or anything. It was just a preview match for Sunday, so I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I was totally fine with it. It was a fun match, and that spot that Zach mentioned really stood out to me too. And I was only kind of half watching it. You know, it was on. I mean, like I was doing other shit. You know, I was up and putting dishes in the fucking dishwasher.
You
and
ain't
shit.
gotta justify your shit to me, brother.
I feel like I do.
Not at all. You at least watch. That's all. That's the best thing.
11 hours in the last few days. You know, no big whoop. Thank you.
I'll clap for you. Yeah,
Thank
welcome
you.
to my world, motherfucker.
Thank you. You choose it. I do this for the people.
All right, Rikishi. you did it for the Rock too, right? Go, Junior, go.
Julia Hart had another match. This time she beat Willow Nightingale. This was a main event match. It was on the main event segment, but it was the last match on the show. And I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, this match was really good. I've decided to start calling the House of Black, wait for it, Judgment Night. Or Judgment Light.
More purple eyeshadow.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's Judgment Day. That's for damn sure.
And then Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland contract signing. So I thought this was really good as well. Swerve was fantastic. And Adam Page definitely had kind of a pretty understated promo, just kind of talking about basically CM Punk being a metaphor for a rain cloud here. Basically saying for the last year and a half, he's had a rain cloud over his head. Now that rain cloud is gone, and he's happy because he wasn't able to speak about it. Now, like, basically, he's free. I don't know if anybody else picked up on that, but that's definitely the vibe that I was getting. And, yeah, they didn't do, like, the big brawl. They did something that was even more effective, which was, Swerve talked a lot of shit, and then he went to pick up the pad to sign, and Adam Page stabbed him in the fucking hand with a pin. I was like, oh my god!
After he slapped him, though.
After he slapped him,
yeah. I thought it was awesome, though. I really liked this.
Big fan of this segment. Big fan. Love Swerve.
I was thinking, I know I've seen somebody getting stabbed in the hand before in a contract signing. I'm like, where have I seen that? I was like, oh yeah. Lesnar got stabbed by The Undertaker in the hand. Same concept, same kind of deal. So, not saying it's an original thought.
I thought it was like Broken Arrow with fucking Travolta.
I think
second Christian Slater. Oh, I got Slater on the brain. He was in that movie, right?
He was. Jesus. What the fuck? I thought this was a good build to their match on Sunday. You need to really go see your therapist like soon. It was good to see Adam Page at least speak on the Rain Cloud CM Punk deal. It's crazy how much of an effect CM Punk had over the entire promotion, whether it's, directly where Jade is, defending him in certain interviews. Now you have Hangman Page basically calling him a rain cloud. it just goes to show you everybody can look at the same thing and see it from different perspectives, and look at it from different perspectives and see different things. So in that scenario, it was interesting to hear him at least talk about Pate or talk about CM Punk, but it was good to see him just like fight back on the mic verbally, because like I said, as far as I was concerned, it was Swerve just wiping the floor with Hangman Page up until Wednesday night.
Zach.
And that was it.
All right. Oh, yeah, and then we got, and then we got the...
oh, yeah, that was not it. Sorry. Yeah, that was the main event segment. Then we had in the back, because it seems like, and I was like, why is there still time on this feed? And they went back to the back, and Jay White was getting laid out.
I was real close to turning it off.
I was walking away.
Yeah, I was too.
I started to look back for whatever reason. I'm like, what?
Yeah, and Jay White's in the back getting beat on by... There were 5 guys, and one of them had the devil mask on from MJF. So this is my speculation. I think that was not MJF. I think that was the Kingdom with Adam Cole plus Kyle O'Reilly.
Didn't one of the guys have a huge neck, like it was Roderick Strong, like even underneath the mask with the neck brace on?
I thought that was.
I didn't notice that, but that would be amazing. Like I didn't notice that, but that would be just a funny detail.
It would be funny, but it would also make it really obvious. I don't know. I heard that it was pretty obvious that it's Adam Cole or Roderick Strong. My first thought before I saw anything on the internet, but right when I saw it, and I was like, "Ooh, that's fucking interesting." I was like, "Here we go." I was like, "Yes, give me a story." So I was like, okay, so why were they beating up Jay White? It was pretty weird because Jay White's a heel, right? My first thought was, because I texted you guys the other day and I said, did you guys hear the rumor that Tony Khan bought NJPW? And you guys were like, no, because of Japanese law, XYZ, etc. And then when I saw that, I was like, what if that's fucking David Finlay and the War Dogs or something? And I was like, here we go. This is the Bullet Club War that they've been talking about in the dirt sheets for the last like 2 or 3 years. And this is where the Bullet Club War starts. So it'd be like Gabe Kidd and my dude Alex Coughlin and or David Finlay. Now that would be exciting.
David Finlay's wearing the devil mask. Obviously, he's leading the charge. I agree with you, Toey. I didn't think it was Adam Cole, even though there was a little picture with the devil's mask. I think this was just after they won the titles, and it was backstage, and there's a picture of it. I think I saved it on my phone. But anyway, the devil's mask was hanging on the Adam Cole side of the locker room where he and MJF were sitting. So if you fast forward and you see that, and now you see this, you think it's Adam Cole, and it does make sense. I just don't think it's the right play right here. Bullet Club makes way more sense, at least the numbers wise, because it's 5 guys. So to me, if you just stop and think about Bullet Club, War Dogs,
wait,
you got
just 5 guys?
No, they're just 4 guys now, but that's another story for another time.
What if it's Mustafa Ali and he's starting Retribution again?
It ain't been 90 days, dog.
That's my favorite.
Let him get a little 90-day vacay before we bring him back in. I agree with you. I think it's David Finlay.
Zach, who do you think it is?
I think it's the Kingdom and O'Reilly.
Yeah, I think I don't think it's War Dogs and David Finlay. I'm just putting it out there. I think it's the Kingdom with Roderick Strong. It's Occam's razor. I mean, the most obvious answer is the correct one. If I want it to be the War Dogs and David Finlay, that sounds fucking awesome, and that would be an actual story, because you guys are over here calling yourselves Bullet Club Gold. Like, we're actually Bullet Club. You guys aren't even in it anymore. And that would make sense. And maybe they could write the Guns off of TV for a year or 5.
Dude, damn.
I know.
They've been really enjoyable lately.
Yeah, I know. They're all right.
Wow, he just doesn't want to give in. He gave in to Eddie Kingston. We just got to
I'll give in eventually. All right.
Give him time.
That'll do it for our 2 count.
1, 2.
All right, the 3 count is, did you guys see this Yota Tsuji fucking Bill Ospreay match?
Yeah,
Did you guys see this match?
Yeah.
So NJPW has its Destruction in Kobe event this weekend, or last Sunday, I guess it was.
Sunday.
There was a bunch of multi-man matches. I didn't watch them all. I'll admit. I did watch Yota Tsuji versus Bill O. And this was probably not match of the year, but it's my 3rd favorite Ospreay match of the year, which is fucking insane. This match was fucking unbelievable. What's the okay? So this is the real question. Over under 2027. When does Yota Tsuji main event Tokyo Dome?
Under. That's
Under 2027.
26 feels about right. 27, it feels like it's almost going to be 1 year too long.
So that's 3 years from now.
Yeah. Very realistic.
So there's 2 more Wrestle Kingdoms, and then the next one after
one,
that is Yota Tsuji
Tsuji
will be main eventing it.
That feels right.
He's the real deal. This match was the real fucking deal. When Yota Tsuji speared Ospreay out of his fucking shoes, I marked out 27 minutes. He wins with Stormbreaker. Incredible match. Zach, what you think?
Yeah, I loved it. Yota Tsuji did some shit I'd never seen him do. He's pulling out some new material. He has just got it, man. He's super charismatic, and they were doing some super fun stuff here. I mean, Ospreay can do anything, and they were exchanging like arm drags and hip tosses at the beginning of this, and it was just wild stuff. Like it was like pure lucha stuff. I don't know if Tsuji, I think maybe he went down to Mexico for his excursion, so that probably fits. But yeah, the arm drags that they were exchanging, I think at one point there was like almost like a foot drag that he did. It was like kind of like a Hurricane Rana, but not quite. It was bonkers. I couldn't even describe some of the shit. And yeah, they pulled out all the stops and had a fantastic main event. This is a New Japan main event that was Yota Tsuji's best match of his life, I'm sure, which pretty much happens with any of Ospreay's opponents. They just get the best match of their lives whenever they're in there with him. So I can't wait until fucking Bryan Danielson wrestles him. Jesus Christ, you know that's gonna happen.
Jason, what you think?
Don't tease me with a good time. It was really, the question was whether Yota Tsuji could keep up with Will Ospreay, and the answer was an emphatic yes. 27 minutes in, the match really didn't take a slowdown after it got out of the second into the third, fourth gear. It just felt like it just kept building up more and more momentum, where for 30 seconds, I thought Yota Tsuji might be able to pull this upset off, and I don't care what anybody says. He's the Wonder Kid. He's the next great thing when it comes to New Japan, but it would have been an upset if he won this match. The right guy went over, but Yota Tsuji he's a Wonder Kid. I mean,
the truth. He has got it, man. When Will Ospreay was circling the ring and Yota Tsuji just had that big fucking shit-eating grin on his face, he's like, he's so cocky. He's like, I belong here. Like, he is not intimidated by the moment at all.
He backed Will Ospreay in the corner.
He's got the
Will Ospreay
look.
was looking around like, what the fuck did I just get myself into?
He's got the look. He's got the moves. He's got the charisma. He's got the work rate for sure. This was a 27-minute match with the best wrestler in the world, and he did not seem to shrink in the moment at all. It was incredible. Incredible.
He's going to be the future of New Japan. He's the next leader of LIJ. He's going to be the champ at some point.
I am very much looking forward to watching Yota Tsuji wrestle for the next 10 years.
Yeah, whether it's here or anywhere else, he'll be just fine.
A couple other notable wins or losses on here. Naito went over Jeff Cobb in a match that meant nothing.
No, it meant something.
They went out and gave it their all. What did it mean?
It was for Naito's Wrestle Kingdom spot.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
It was?
Yes.
Yeah, there were stakes.
Told you I didn't watch it.
Okay, so you're welcome.
Well, I'm hosting the podcast.
And you're giving incorrect information.
I'm speaking my truth.
That's not true.
Easy,
You're just
Joe Rogan.
No.
All right. Well, you tell me why don't you tell me what was good?
Just going backwards, you had that. We talked about that match, Bishamon versus TMDK for the IWGP titles. I thought that was a solid match. What was it? Sho and Taichi for the KOPW championship. All kinds of fuckery left and right. Kanemaru flips on just 5 guys, so now they're back to being just 4 guys, which was kind of funny to begin with, but neither here nor there. House of Torture gets stronger. There was another match that I've got missing, and I know I am. Great O'Khan and Shingo. I thought this was a solid match. It feels like Shingo was supposed to win, but Great O'Khan at least feels like there's at least a little fire underneath him. At this point, I'm waiting for something to get me back on the Great O'Khan train. Outside of that, you really didn't miss much of anything. That was basically the last 5 matches. Is all leading to the 9 or the 10-9 show where you have Evil and Sonata for the title. Tamatanga and David Finlay, ELP Hikuleu versus Kid and Coughlin. I know I'm missing one more match. Impact guys are coming over. Josh Alexander and the Motor City Machine Guns versus Ishii, Okada, and Tanahashi for the Never Openweight title. There's another title match. Connors and Dan Maloney, also War Dogs as well. They'll be defending the junior tag titles versus Kushida and Kevin Knight. And then you would have the best of 7 series, Strong Style versus Nagata, Shota Umino, and Master Wato. That's been a weird series, but that's basically what you're looking forward to going forward. But just for the Destruction and Kobe tour, if you watch Tsuji and Will Ospreay, that's a good start. I thought the tag match was good. Shingo, Great O'Khan was good too. There's plenty to watch, but I think that 10-9 show is the show that's going to have more of an impact. Look for Yuya Uemura to make his return back to New Japan. He's getting fired probably as we speak from Impact Wrestling, and then from that point he'll make his return back to New Japan hopefully, and that will bring back all the young lions from the previous shows 2 years down the line, and that should be really interesting as well. So shit's going on in New Japan.
Yeah. Anything else about New Japan before we go?
No, I think I've covered it.
All right, that's going to do it for our 3 count.
That's that PSP coming in, boy, right there.
Hey, don't forget about Jason's other podcast, the Phoenix Splash podcast. You can find it wherever podcasts are found.
This is true story. We'll be out this weekend.
This is banned from ringside.
Hey, boys. It's prediction time. It's been a couple weeks since we've had some predictions, and we got lots of predictions tonight. So,
shocker.
Pre-roll time.
We have.
Do that shit.
Let's light that pre-roll. So.
It's pre-roll prediction time. This should be like a segment.
This should be a segment. So, just to recap everybody on the scores, Two Beer Zach has 69 points. Nice.
I was about to say, there's a joke there.
JCB's got 68, and yours truly has 64. So, we have NXT No Mercy and AEW WrestleDream. We have spent a lot of time talking about AEW tonight. So, let's go to NXT. NXT had a very entertaining show the other night, but we have 6 matches on the card. Let's start with Becky Lynch versus Tiffany Stratton for the title. Becky Lynch won it, I think, 2 weeks ago. Is there a chance they give it back to Tiffany Stratton this quickly? Zach, who you got?
Man, that's I was wondering that exact thing. I don't know that they'll do it this quickly. I think they might just give somebody else the rub whenever she does lose it. So I'm going to go with Becky. Yeah, I'm going with Becky. NXT's been doing really well, and I think they're going to keep her on there to keep that hype train going.
Who you got, Jason?
I think we're all asking the same question. Is Tiffany Stratton going to get the title back this quick week? If that was the case, then you probably shouldn't have took the title off her to begin with. I think Becky's just going to have a run where she's going to put a bunch of people over and then ultimately drop the title to someone else, Roxanne, Lyra Valkyrie, Kira. I'm sorry, I pronounced the name wrong, but someone along those lines that feels like they could be the champ and just haven't had the title yet or just haven't won it back. But ultimately, I agree, Becky Lynch should win. And an Extreme Rules match on top of it.
It is an Extreme Rules match. I don't even want to think about that. Just don't even know what that would mean. But we have Noam Dar versus Butch. Butch wins the Heritage Cup Mini G1 tournament that they had, which I found very enjoyable. And the main event, or the finals of it, was very enjoyable. Also, Joe Coffey going down to Butch. Butch was the right call here. The fun call. Excited for this. Butch versus Noam Dar in a Heritage Cup rules match. Jason, who you got?
Not gonna lie, I was rooting for Joe Coffey, but no problem with Butch. Butch going back to his NXT roots is not necessarily a bad thing. I think it's a good thing. Now, that being said, I'm going to take Noam Dar to retain. I think Noam Dar is one of the better wrestlers that a lot of people don't know, and it'll be a great chance to show it against Butch, one of the better technical wrestlers that we all know. Obviously, his matches versus Gunther/Walter, well documented, well talked about. So, yeah, all that being said, this could steal the show. Don't think it will, but I got Noam Dar to retain. Zach, you're up.
Yeah, I'll agree with Jason. Thank Noam Dar. With that Butch versus Joe Coffey thing, I loved how Noam Dar and all of them were up on the dais, during the match. It was so campy and fun.
He's got Noam Dar.
Oh, he's got Noam Dar too? Fuck. God dang it. I got Noam Dar also. The reason is because they are giving the Metaphor a lot of airtime. They have their own room in NXT, and they just kind of sit on top of NXT and watch it the whole time. Yeah, so I think that they're still in the midst of a push. But I don't see them they could have Butch lose this and not lose any momentum at all. If anything, he's just gone back and shown why he's so great. So I'm taking Noam Dar also. Up next, we have Dominic Mysterio versus Trick Williams. I don't want to make this my Stone Cold Lead Pipe lock of the week, and I'm not going to, but I will go first, and I am going to go with Dirty Dominic Mysterio over Trick Williams because I think this is going to play into a match later on the card. Jason, who you got?
I can't go against Dirty Dom at this point. I mean, it was good to see Trick Williams but fall into the match when he won the triple threat. Oh, I'm sorry, it was a fatal four-way at that point on NXT on Tuesday, literally falling on, I believe it was Tyler Bate for the win. Good to see Trick getting the push. NXT,
big, strong boy. I was
about to say, whoop that Trick. Whoop that Trick. So, Trick is over. I want to see how far this goes. But, yeah, ultimately, I still think it's Dirty Dom winning, whether it's fuckery or non-fuckery. I think he retains.
Zach, who do you have?
Oh, man. I'll go with Dom.
All right, so we all got Dom. This is getting really boring, guys. Time to mix it up a little bit. We have a four-way match for the NXT Tag Team titles. We have the Family, Tony D'Angelo and his buddy Stax. We have OTM. Don't know who those guys are.
Nima and Price. I can't think of their first names.
Huh?
Nima and Bronco Nima and Luchin Price or some shit like that.
Oh, Luchin Price rings a bell. Versus the Creeds versus Los Lotharios. This dynamic between Los Lotharios and the Family. The Family, first of all, those guys are good. I'm a fan. Can't be mad at them. When they asked them why it looks like their chest got clawed up by a cat or a tiger or whatever, And Los Lotharios is like, that's a message to our grandpa. And they were like, yeah, well, let me know when grandpa messages back.
It's like, God damn. But y'all motherfuckers ain't shit. Talk about somebody dead grandpa.
Absolutely killed me. Anyway, I'll go first here. I got Los Lotharios as most likely to win. I have the family going second. I have the Creeds as third, and I have OTM. OTM being the least likely to win. Zach, who do you got?
This is really interesting, but I have it the exact same way.
Fuck, God damn it, Jesus.
Really?
Jason, who you got?
I'll go least to most. Los Lotharios least likely to win. I think they got to build a story up for them. OTM out the mud. I don't even like the name, but I think they got some potential. Scripts is from the Lou, so good shout out there. I'm gonna go Creed's second most likely to win. It would not surprise me if they won this bad boy. The Creeds are back for a reason, so I think they will at some point beat a chance. But it'd be a real surprise not to see the family retain at this point. I mean, they just got the titles. I don't see why they would drop the titles at this point. So yeah, there we go with that.
All right, that can create some separation. We have Baron Corbin versus Braun Breaker. I don't know if there's a stipulation on this fight. It might be like a street fight or something. But they kept this fight going on like Peter Griffin versus the Chicken throughout this entire NXT episode. It was pretty fun. Liked it. NXT's a pretty fucking good show, man. It is. Most of the segments are worth watching. Zach, who do you got?
Give me Braun Breaker.
Who do you got, Jason?
I did like this brawl a lot.
Yeah, it was good. They seemed pissed at each other.
Yeah, just going through Shawn Michaels' wall, I thought that's what was probably one step too far, but neither here nor there. The point was taken. I really, really want to take Baron Corbin here. It would make a lot of sense because I think Braun Breaker's on the way up and Baron Corbin's down to stay. But I'm going to go ahead and agree with 2Beer on this one. I think it's Braun Breaker. I think this is going to be one of those matches that have an extension. I wouldn't be surprised to see Von Wagner come in at some point and fuck some shit up. But if he doesn't, I'm going to take Braun Breaker.
Very annoying. I have to be honest with myself. I have to be honest with you, the listener, and I have to be honest with my co-hosts. I want to take Baron Corbin and be different, but I just think that the most obvious answer is Braun Breaker, and I am taking Braun Breaker also. And then finally, we have Carmelo Hayes versus Ilja Dragunov for the NXT Heavyweight Championship. JCB, who you got?
That sounds like some Drago shit right there, man. Let's say fuck him up. This has been a great build. It's a nice way to get this rematch going. Trick Williams is the wild card. I don't think he really is the wild card ultimately. I got Carmelo Hayes retaining. It wouldn't surprise me if Dragunov won. I would be surprised if at some point he didn't win the title. I just don't think it's off of Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes still has a little bit of a story to tell.
Who you got, Zach?
Give me Dragunov because he is my favorite to watch in NXT, but also besides that, I just think he's the best guy down there right now, and your champ should be your best guy.
Yeah, I see Trick Williams playing into this quite a bit. They've been telling the story. They did a good job. They've been doing a good job for a while, where the other night Carmelo Hayes was too busy with his shit to be able to talk to his boy Trick. Trick said when the gal came out to interview him, he said, you know, I know Joe Gacy's weird, but I did just beat him in a match. But anyway, why are you asking me about Carmelo? Later on, Carmelo Hayes kind of accidentally dropped Trick's name during his promo, talking about guys that have lost Ilja Dragunov and how he's not like them. And he said Trick, and he's like, nope. And Dragunov was like, oh, I heard what you said, motherfucker. I heard what you said. So I think that Trick loses to Dom, and then Trick gets pissed off and costs Carmelo Hayes the match. Because the whole story's been about when Carmelo Hayes beat Dragunov, did he actually need Trick Williams? I think they've been doing a pretty good job with it. I'm taking Dragunov here.
Okay.
But that that's gonna be a fun night of wrestling.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so we got AEW WrestleDream. Let's start off with just this fucking massive match. Just so many names in this match. Just 5 fingers in a Guevara. We got Jericho and the Golden Lovers versus the Don Callis family.
This motherfucker right here.
Who do you have, Jason? You got the baby faces or the heels?
Jesus fucking Christ. God, you're horrible. I'm gonna take the heels on this one.
Little nub.
Little nub. Sammy Guevara obviously needs some rub. He just flipped heel. Will Ospreay, Takeshita, same team. It's not a knock against Kenny and Ibushi. I think we'll eventually get to those feuds here in a little bit, but I like the heels on this one. Who do you got, Zach?
Yeah, give me the heels. Kenny is going to keep losing whenever he's facing the Don Callis Society. This is not when he gets the win.
The Don
It'll
Callis
happen
Society.
eventually.
It would make
Don Callis family.
It would make no sense for the baby faces to win here. I mean, the Don Callis family is just now a thing, and it's basically just those 2 guys. So, and Will Ospreay, I guess, even though that just seems a little forced. But I'm taking the heels also. So we also have Eddie Kingston versus Shibata. Eddie Kingston's 2 belts are on the line. The ROH Pure Championship is not for Shibata. Who do you got, Zach? Kingston or Shibata?
I got Kingston.
I got Kingston. Jason, he got.
Yeah, it's Eddie Kingston. It's his time to run around and defend both of these titles. I'm just surprised he's got them both. I'm glad. I'm happy. We had this debate on whether he'd ever be a world champion. Now he's a double world champion, so that's wild to even think about.
So everybody's taking Kingston. We have a 4-way for the number 1 contendership, or for a match of the future date or something like that. But it is the Young Bucks versus Lucha Brothers versus the Guns versus Orange Cassidy and Hook. I think it's Zach's turn to go first.
All right, I'm going to go most likely to least likely. So, most likely, Young Bucks. I was laughing at that.
That's fucking weird.
Didn't see that one coming.
Zach, I'm 5'8", 215 pounds, and I want to make love to the Young Bucks.
Hey, I didn't say the Young Bucks. I said some Young Bucks. Oh, no, okay. Sorry. Yeah. So, the Young Bucks, number 2, Lucha Brothers, number 3, Guns, number 4, Orange Cassidy and Hook.
I am, you know what? I just might be mega stoned. I'm taking Orange Cassidy and Hook as my most likely. And then I'm taking the Young Bucks 2, Lucha Brothers 3. I'm taking the Guns as the least likely. Who you got, Jason?
Yeah, this is definitely going to cause a little separation here. I'm going least likely Cassidy and Hook. I'm going... let's go Lucha Brothers 3, Bucks 2, Guns 1.
Okay, and I have to admit, Wait, what? You got the Guns as the most likely to win?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Zach, give me your ratings again. You had Young Bucks as most likely.
Then Lucha Brothers, then Guns, then Orange Cassidy and Hook.
Okay, all right, yeah. I'm going to lose a whole bunch of points on that. Okay, Chris Statlander versus Julia Hart for the TBS Championship. I'll go first here. I'm going to take Chris Statlander until she loses. What I call the Gunther rules. So I'm taking Chris Statlander. Who you got, Jason?
Stone Cold Lead Pipe Lock of the Week. It's Chris Statlander.
Who you got, Zach?
Yeah, I got Chris Statlander. Julia Hart's been nicely built up, but she's also very young, and this will be a minor roadblock for her. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to make that my Stone Cold Lead Pipe Lock of the Week, too. Forgot about those. So Christian Cage versus Darby Allin for the TNT Championship.
I'm already laughing. The match ain't even close to even here. I'm already giggling.
Jason, who you got?
I'm taking Christian Cage. Can't take the title off him right now. Darby's pretty Teflon when it comes to situations like this. I expect Edge to make his return to help Christian Cage out and reform the Adam Copeland and Christian Cage show. So, yeah, I got Christian Cage.
Zach, who you got?
Yeah, I got Christian also.
Okay, so we all...
Luchasaurus would be the guy to pin Christian Cage. It shouldn't be Darby Allin.
Yeah, I got Christian Cage to win too. Doesn't make any sense to put it on Darby right now. Christian Cage is like really doing like some of the best work of his entire career. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy how good Christian Cage is right now.
Amen.
Let's go with MJF in a handicap match versus the Righteous. Zach, who you got?
I have, man, that's wild, but I'm going to pick MJF.
No fucking shit. I'm taking the Righteous. Probably against my better judgment, but yeah, I'm going with the Righteous. Jason, who you got?
I know who should win. That's the Righteous. But I know who's going to win, and that's MJF.
Shit, that would be a complete burial. They've been building them up. They've been giving them vignettes and shit. All right, okay.
See Julia Hart, okay? 27-match winning streak.
That's a little different.
How's that different?
Oh, I'll see her. I'll see her for sure.
FTR versus Aussie
Zach knows
Open
what I'm saying.
for the AEW Tag Team Championships. Jason, who do you have?
I'm sorry, I was getting a little Julia Hart boogie on. I really want to take FTR. I really do. But I'm going to go off script. I'm going to take Aussie Open and not even think about it. Give me Aussie Open. How am I a pussy? I picked Aussie Open over FTR for Christ's sake.
Zach, who you got?
Aussie Open.
Yeah, I mean, I have Aussie Open also.
You act like you're the fucking master of predictions around here. Don't act like this is just that slam dunk and I'm just the idiot over here.
I don't know. I just don't think it's that, like, you act like you're going, like, way out. You're acting like that's a crazy pick. It's like, that seems like
the
a
way
pretty...
Aussie Open's been booked, yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, but they owe him one.
That doesn't mean...
TK owes him one.
Yeah, we'll see if he pays it up or not.
Yeah, I mean, I'm picking Aussie Open, but actually I'm thinking FTR. But, like, for the record, I'm picking Aussie Open. But if FTR wins,
it wouldn't be a
I told you
surprise.
so. But I'm picking Aussie Open.
What you mean? I told you so.
But if FTR wins, I knew it. I knew it was going to happen.
This motherfucker. You are so covering your ass at every turn. It's like,
yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
I'm really surprised about these predictions because I figured Zach would just throw every one. Just stay at 69 for the rest of the year. That's a 3-beer move.
I probably would if I had any faith in my actual predictions.
We got Hangman Adam Page versus Swerve Strickland. Great go-home segment here. Man, if they don't put Swerve Strickland over, I'm going to be so fucking pissed. I'm taking Swerve Strickland.
I was about to say, Chris Nana better be able to do his boogie on Swerve comes back home to Seattle. Both Seattle guys cannot lose. One has to win. Darby's the one, like I said, I think he's the most Teflon. This is a chance to make another star, TK. I'm taking Swerve Strickland.
Swerve while I'm driving.
The good
Zach,
old days.
are you also swerving in our glory?
Oh, no. Yep. No.
Everybody's taking Swerve Strickland.
Shit. You ain't supposed to put that out there, man. We putting good vibes for Swerve Strickland. You putting it out a bad fucking memory.
I'll tell you what, when I'm looking at this card, I was getting ready to say this is the match I'm looking forward to the most, and it's not. It's probably like number 4. This is a loaded fucking card, man. Oh, I wouldn't say FTR versus...
Rank them.
Wait till he's finished, and then you can tell me what
And then finally, we have Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. A dream match. I mean, literally a dream match for this podcaster. I've often said that they're my two favorite wrestlers, along with Kevin Owens, that are currently going. I cannot wait for this match. Very much looking forward to it. And I think it's going to be better than Danielson Okada. I think Sabre Jr. he's just incredible, and Bryan's incredible. They're going to do something special, but I'm taking Bryan Danielson. Here you got, Jason.
Two best wrestlers technically in the world in one match. It's going to be something to see, even though we've seen it before, obviously, but these two versions are vastly different than what we saw beforehand. All that said, I can't. I got to take Zack Sabre Jr. on this. I get it. Danielson is just outside of Seattle. I'm thinking more so of a bigger picture.
ZSJ's belt is not on the line,
There is no belt on the line. It's just
so
bragging rights.
There's no time limit.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just bragging rights.
Who are you taking?
I'm taking ZSJ.
Yes. Fuck yes. Who you got, Zach?
I got Bryan Danielson.
Danielson's probably going to win, but I think it's more. I think it would benefit.
Yes. That's
Zack
a really
Sabre
good point.
Jr. more if he won.
I appreciate that as an arguing tactic.
What's that?
Being like, yes, I'm picking one, but the other one's going to win. I'm just picking this one. I just did it on the same one before. I like it.
You could see a legitimate way that Zack Sabre Jr. can win. You could see that Bryan Danielson win. It's easily a pick'em match.
Well, what story is Bryan Danielson trying to tell with his career for the last year or so?
It's the final run.
So what's the story he's trying to tell? That he's going to win a bunch?
You don't think he's going to put everybody over?
Nah.
Not everybody, but I think Zack Sabre Jr.
He's got one more run with the belt.
Really?
Ooh.
Yes. I think before he retires, he is AEW World Heavyweight Champion.
Wow. There was a hot take.
Is it?
I think it is. Honestly, I think this is MJF and whomever else they want to put in front of him. But this is a good time to where if you want to have Bryan Danielson go and wrestle whatever match he wants to wrestle for the next year or so, however long he has, this is the time for let him to do that shit. Let MJF be MJF and be world champion. Let Bryan Danielson have his matches that he wants to have.
Zach, do you think that Bryan Danielson has one more run with the belt before he retires?
I'd give it 30% odds.
Yeah, okay.
What belt? Any belt?
No, the world, the
AEW
AEW title. He'll be the AEW champion.
Or IWGP.
No. Okay, hang on. No, slow down now, motherfucker. He's got to be my boy at that spot, and we got a problem with that.
TNA Knockouts champ.
WWF undisputed.
Shit, bring him back. Just say bring him back.
24/7.
4 matches.
Okay, that was our predictions.
I was about to say, it can't be as hard as Roman Reigns has been wrestling in 2024. Fuck, you could bring him back for that schedule. What the hell?
All right. We got some birthdays this week. Steve Blackman. Love Steve Blackman.
Feels like it's his birthday all the time.
Yeah, I know. Well, we've been doing this a long time. He's 60. Jason Jordan is 35. Candice LeRae is 38.
Oh, Kurt Angle Jr.
Chris Von Erich. R.I.P.
I was getting ready to say, I think he's R.I.P. I didn't want to go with that.
54. Cameron Grimes is 30.
Where the fuck is he at?
I don't know. Curtis Axel, 44. Or Michael McGillicuddy.
Yes.
You might know him as. Or, what's his real name? Something. What the fuck's his real name?
Honestly, I don't know.
He's 44. Robbie Eagles is 40. Yokozuna.
Definitely R.I.P.
57. God damn, that doesn't seem possible, right?
He's a big dude.
He only would have been 57. Johnny TV, Johnny Morrison.
Definitely alive.
He's my age. He's 44. Chief Jay Strongbow, R.I.P. He is 95. And Abyss.
Definitely alive. I think he's backstage.
I think he works for WWE.
Backstage, yeah.
50. You know what his real name is?
I should know this.
He went by it for a while.
Yeah.
Kevin Sampson.
Isn't it Chris Parks?
Something like that. Joseph Parks.
Cherokee Parks. Hey, everybody. We know there's a ton of podcasts to listen to, so we appreciate you guys listening to our podcast. For my entire family.
Check.
For Tender Mahal.
Check.
For Murray the Murray Man Murray. For Lucha Chris. For
Check.
Patriot Path.
Double check.
For Vice. For
Double check.
3 Beer Zach Pullman.
Check.
For Jason Cornelius Bell.
Did you
I'm
want
Bill
bitches?
Vagey.
Check.
Everybody, Black Lives Matter.
Triple check.
Support your local weed dealers.
Double check.
Support your local restaurants.
Check.
Stay loose.
Check.
And never, ever forget to move the heels.
Boo! Bitch!